Ray, let's start with you. What would you say lies at the heart of this story?
Morals, I think, and an old-fashioned way of looking at things. You know, it's a swashbuckling event. It's something we like to watch as kids. So, for me, though, they used to write things like this in the 1700s, you know, about a young boy growing up and finding his way in the world. Today we write things, and 99 times out of 100 it's about getting the bird and shooting someone. There was something about them days where it was about getting the bird and shooting someone. Moralistic way, there was a story behind it. You know, there was just something about this young man finding his way. It's the same in Great Expectations. In a way, it's the same kind of story, you know, about the snobbery of growing up and leaving people behind, and then finding your way in the world and finding out what really love is, and being a man is, you know. That's what I love about this story.
And Ashley, do you want to tell us how this all came about and why you wanted to do Moonfleet?
Yeah, sure. It's one of those books when I was about, I don't know, 10 or 11. I grew up in this town, not quite as great as Moonfleet, but a Somerset town I desperate to leave. And this book just, I don't know, about the adventure and the girl and the diamond. I loved it as a kid, and it's stayed with me through adulthood. And over the years I've sort of pitched it to various broadcasters, and it's expensive, it's a big number. And it was only really when Sky came on the scene that I thought, I wonder if we could revisit that. And Caitlin was at company, she knew I always loved it, and we started from there.
And tell us what you did to the book, whether you had to fillet it, pare it down, what things you changed.
I'm hoping it's fairly faithful to the book. I'm sure there'll be some retired wing commanders who give it a hard time. You know, they were at Harrow in the 1920s. But the biggest change is dress to go on. Because as often in those sort of books, it's a bit soppy. And mostly sits in the window by a candle. So I was sort of pumped up a bit. So I love the idea of her climbing through his bedroom window and giving her some spark. And, but I hope I'm true to the screenwriters always say this. I hope I'm true to the spirit.
Nye, tell us about swimming naked in the Irish Sea, was it? Or in the Atlantic, was it?
Yeah, it was pretty cold actually.
They were your butter.
It was my ass on display, as you saw. Do my own stunts. There you go. But yeah, it was pretty cold. It's quite. Do you know what though? It was quite a nice moment. But I was just like, I'm at one with myself. Wading to Wales, you know. But it was a very fun moment where I was just about to dive in the sea in my full glory, where there was an American tour bus that just full of loads of cameras, so I never dived into the sea as quickly as that moment.
Did they get a picture of that being Instagram?
I have no idea.
Ben, why is this tale still relevant? Why do you think this tale is still relevant?
And it's a classic story, isn't it? You know, any classic story is still relevant. They haven't changed, have they, ever?
I mean, your character represents a sort of...
I don't think he's still relevant. He's saying, see myself. I don't think he's relevant. He's from the bygone era. It's a classic adventure story. And I was talking about this earlier with Ashley. I was wondering if it was my age. You know, this when I was a kid, that would have been when I was a boy. That would have been my favourite sort of story. And I wonder if that was, you know, have I got to an age now where that doesn't relate to people, you know, younger than me. And I don't think that changes over time. The format might change, the presentation of it might change, but I don't think the basic Aristotelian curve changes at all, does it?
I mean, actually, when you were writing the script, did you feel that this was particularly pertinent or relevant to these times, topical in any way?
I did actually. When we were on set, Ray, we talked about it, didn't we? That, you know, we're in austere times and people do what they can to feed their families, and it seemed to me to have, without forcing it at all, to have lots of connotations with
that's the thing with really good stories, they adapt anywhere. You know, the problems of people. But at the end of the day, it's an adventure story as well, you know. And I think that's what they used to get right. That's why they keep making stories like that again.
But there are times too, I mean, one of my ways in as a screenwriter was to think, if this was an estate, an Ireland's character would want to be in the gang. Even if they were illegal, they were like still the cool dudes in the estate. So nothing changes really.
Well, the only thing that changes is that they're not smugglers who are feeding the village. They'll be drug dealers who are killing people. You know, and that's probably, that would be the negative. You know?
Phil, when did you last work with Ray? Was it in Scum? Was it?
No, we did something. I think we did something else called. Ray was Bobby Moore or Jeff. Yeah, we did a Platinum Dealer's Choice, but we've done quite a bit
Yeah,
together.
what
Yeah.
was you the snooker player, or not?
Yeah.
What was the snooker player? We better give a lot, me, Phil.
Yeah.
And what's it like being reunited?
It was
Well, we're
good
the only
fun.
two left alive, I think.
It was good fun. The weather was good. It was good being smugglers. We had real good fun on those beaches. You know, it was fantastic weather, and even getting wet was fun.
Whereabouts were you? Where were you filming?
In all around Dublin. So you know, it's fantastic.
And it always looks like great fun to be making a period piece. What, I wonder, maybe to everyone, what's the best thing about it and what's the worst thing about having to make period? Maybe Niall will feel that one.
I guess the good thing about period stuff is that as an actor you get a lot of things for free as when it comes to research, because it's all there. You don't have to invent anything because you can take out moments of history and you can, you know, study on politics of the world and the way that people lived and how society was. So that's the great thing about period stuff, because you can jump back into it, and with that then it gives you a lot more scope to take an audience on an adventure of make-believe as well, because they invest in you so much more. It's more fairy tale.
It's tights, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
It's the tights of the pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's nice getting out of your closet at the end of a long day, isn't it? That's the best thing about it. Yeah. Oh, now I know what
We should have thought about the ride.
Yeah, all sorts.
And often on horseback. You seem to get a lot of
I did a lot of riding.
riding, some lassoing. How was that?
The whipping was more enjoyable than I thought. It's doing it on horseback is quite hard because the horse doesn't naturally like a whip, as you can imagine. But, especially when it's coming from behind it. You know what I mean? But it's quite pleasantly carried.
So were there any buckings?
I mean,
Any dismounts?
I was too good, I'm sorry. I don't think it's done me justice. It is very dramatic then, but I don't think it's done me quite justice, my horsemanship.
Anyone care to comment on it?
There was jockeys and there was National Hunt jockeys, and everyone except me was a trained professional, and only one of them came off. Yes, I'll leave it at that. No, it's fantastic at horseback, and it keeps you warm as well when it's cold.
Let's talk a little bit about making family drama, because that could have negative connotations. That could mean something pantomime or snappy. This isn't that. Actually, do you want to say what sort of drama you were trying to make and how you achieved it?
Well, right from the start, talking to Sky, we knew it was going to be family, but they encouraged me to push the envelope to make it as edgy as you can be in that style of thing. And I think by watching every series, some adult themes and adult images, but it's not a dirty word for me, family television. I think there's not enough of it, and you know, I've got an 8-year-old daughter, and there's not much we can sit and watch together. And I really hope that the Christmas families will watch this, because it is basically a bloody good story. Nothing to do with me. It's a wonderful story, and I can't think of anything better than sitting with family.
no, you find yourself sitting in different rooms watching TV.
Yeah.
You know, and very rarely you get a chance to all sit down and have a cuddle.
I was telling my daughter about how we used to, the whole family sit and watch the Waltons. It was like,
Did
I was. Yeah. That's when I became a writer.
Was it something that was important to you, Ray, that the family aspect of it? Was that maybe one reason why you wanted to do this?
Well, I don't really get a chance to do a lot of family kind of films. You know, where I'm stabbing someone or raping them or to be quite honest with you, there was a love story, I mean, I done a film years ago called Fanny and Elvis, which was a love story, and you know, and I'm good at it. I'm actually good at cuddling someone and giving them a kiss, you know what I mean? And no, it's a story. No, but you know, and to tell those sort of stories where you can go, I've got 3 daughters, and go and sit down and watch something you're in for a change, where they can actually watch it with you, you know. And let's face it, that's what we were brought up with. We were brought up as a family sitting there with our mums and dads and our aunts and uncles or whoever happened to be there and watching something at Christmas or whatever time of the year together. And you all talked about the film after. I remember having a terrible row in my house once with my mum and dad and my sister and all that. It all went pear-shaped and a window got broken, and next thing, as we had Sunday dinner, we watched The Champ. and we were all sitting on the settee, and by the end of The Champ, we was going, "Don't go, Champ, don't go." And we were all holding hands crying. It was nothing to do with the row, the dog was crying too. You know, but that's when TV and films brought you together as a family. You should go as a family. Today we have 3, you know, if you're lucky enough or unlucky enough, however you look at it, you've got 3 or 4 tellies in the house. And, you know, your daughter's upstairs watching one, and your wife's watching EastEnders in the other room, and you're watching the football. You know, and you don't actually, those rooms were to bring the family together. And there's not enough shows like this, or family shows of whatever type, that really bring a family together anymore. You know, it's either they like that and they like that, but this is something for everyone, I think. Sorry to waffle on, but, you know.
Nigel, tell us a little bit about having Ray Winstone as an on-screen father figure. Was he in any way a mentor as well for your acting?
Yeah, I would like to just joke and have a lot of humour here, but I'll actually be a little bit serious. No, it's wonderful for me as a nothing young man, really, becoming the part of And, you know, I remember watching By Mouth many moons ago as a starter offer in this business, and seeing Ray in that, and particularly at that point he was one of the actors that I watched and went, God, it would be really nice to work with an actor like that one day. And it happened, and it's wonderful. You're wonderful too, just watch it for you, you know, and whatever you've done. You know, it's a pleasure. Sorry.
You're right,
it's just great to be able to learn off the generation which are around and leading us into, you know, especially young actors, British actors at the moment, because I think we're failing our generation, our higher up generation. I think that we're becoming too soft and too manipulated by the business, and we need to stamp them and just make good work and be someone who's crafting and not scared to get it stuck in there and shed some tears and get some blood on your hands and just get involved and work hard instead of being, you know, put in places by other people and just being manipulated by the system. I think, you know, we've got to go back to that old school of working and being proud of your craft.
Yeah, you got the 2 really good exemplars. Things to your left, and of course to your right.
I was really lucky on this job because we were surrounded by it.
It was a good laugh.
Yeah. Surrounded by these men that
It was a lot of toil as well. It was,
It was very British as well. British men and women who have led the way for years and are still flying the flag and are still working, and we're so bloody negative half the time, going, oh, you know, criticising things constantly, and what we need to do is start praising one another and going, yeah, it's nice to get something seen. It's nice to get something made for a change.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a 26-year-old young man saying that. So it's a wonderful position to be in with these 3 gentlemen and the rest of the cast, because they put, you know, pride and honour and credibility into professionally.
I want maybe for Phil, are things that are fun to watch more fun to make? Is there any correlation there? I'm thinking about having muskets and playing smugglers. Is it make for a more joyful set?
We had quite good fun on the set, and we drank quite a lot of Guinness off it. But no, we had good times, and it's it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Maybe this is one for Ashley. Hannah's been told I feel very pleased with what you've made. Could you give us a slight tease for what's coming up in the next episode, without giving anything away, but where's the narrative going to head next?
They leave Moonfleet opposite the end of episode 1, and they go to that diamond and becomes an Iron Standard character, they're obsessed with it, and it pulls them through Europe. And at the end we have an amazing set piece, which is kind of got very wetful on that ship, which again, the scale of it, I'm not sure you see often in British television. It's really cinematic, big ending, very exciting, and very moving, I think. And the other thing we said, when we set out to make it, I said to myself and Claire that the swashbuckling bit, the tremendous stories in there, even I got shagged at that. But I really wanted to make it something a bit emotional. I wanted people to be excited at the end, but also to be moved, because I think that central relationship is very moving. That's, and I hope you agree when you see it, and we get a good stab at it.
We talked a bit about the idea of family drama. I wonder, Ray, what would you say makes a good family drama?
Everything you just said, really. I mean, for me, it can be funny. It has to be emotional as well. I mean, I think there's everything in there, isn't it? Really, that we have. You've got to be able to sit down there with your kids and your nan and your aunties and watch something. I think the great thing about the times, the 1700s, when Dickens was writing and all that, is if we've kind of lost it in a lot of the writing today, and that's governed by the studio wanting crash, bang, wallop, and pace. But what they did have is if you look at grades, I've said it some of the press, I don't want to harp on about it, but the thing about Moonfleet is in the kind of same style of Great Expectations, or the way Dickens would write. He had the story of made London look dirty, the filth that was going on, the gap between the poverty and the wealth, and a man thinking that what makes you a great man is to get from the poverty to the wealth, and it's all about the money. And that's what impresses people, and the people you leave behind, you have a snobbery against this kind of, and that's Great Expectations, and that's the story of Great Expectations, but it's also the story of Moonfleet. It's an emotional journey. Now, when you're 5 or 6 years of age, you're sitting there watching this with your family, you don't get that. What you enjoy is the swashbuckling and the piracy and the shipwreck and all that. But when you're, hopefully, in your 20s and your 30s, you're also enjoying that, but you're also enjoying the story that, the journey it takes you on emotionally. And I think that's a family film for me, because everyone gets something out of it. And I think, I haven't seen the second episode, I've just seen the first one tonight. I read the script, and if the film doesn't work, it's not because it wasn't written well, it's because we didn't do our job properly. At the end of the day, we didn't get those emotional moments for a family of certain ages to pick up on, and we didn't get the other bit right. That's down to us, It's all there. And I feel that sometimes, I finish it.
I'm in the second up, sorry.
No, well, that's what I meant, that's what it really takes off. But I'm getting there, and I don't think that a lot of the stuff I watched today, it's so death, doom and destruction. And I've been in some of those, and I'm proud of being in some of those. But we need a bit more. We need fresh news stories that maybe in 300 years' time someone else will make them and say they're classics, And the classics are what we call family films. So they've got everything in them.
Do you feel that more strongly as you get a bit older, that maybe you want to make some
Absolutely, it's about being an old fart. No, but that's I think we do, because then you understand it a bit more, you understand the business, and I guess it takes
Just finally, before we go to the floor, actually, do you want to say a little bit about towing the line? So if we've got a family drama and you want to appeal to kids, at the same time you said you want to make it edgy, a little bit gritty, how do you decide what you show and what you don't?
I think you get the drama lead you to a certain extent, and like I said before, Sky were very helpful in fact, the notes in the early drafts was push it normally for us to say, right, that will scare the horses, and so that for writers were really helpful for those. But my way into it, any time you adapt a classic novel like this, you have to find an angle, a way in to make it yours, to make it fresh. And when rereading it again, just before I started writing, it struck me is that it is a love story between these two damaged, dysfunctional men at different parts in their lives. And they go on this extraordinary journey, and they find a kind of love, a kind of peace. And that was, that drove everything really, because you obviously make lots of different decisions as a script writer, and that was my sort of guiding light.
Okay. Let's have some questions from the floor. There are 2 microphones, one on either side. So you stick your hand up and then wait for the mic to come your way. There's a man just there, and if you want to go first. And maybe we can have some lights so we can see who's talking to us.
In the Christmas TV schedules, we often get a lot of repeats or different versions of the same old show again. Do you think it was really important at Christmas to have a new drama, something with ambition, a new story that people will watch for years to come, instead of having the same old stuff?
Do you want to go, Ray?
No, I don't think it's that important. I think it's great to have new stuff, and I want to see new stuff. But sometimes at Christmas you want to wrap yourself in a blanket and watch I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, Pink Floyd, you know. That's all right, because that's like memories. That's, you know, for those of us who lost our parents, you know, one way or another, sometimes you want your memories, and you want to have a little cry and do that. But yeah, at the same time, you want to watch something a little bit fresh as well. You want to have a choice. It's all about choice, isn't it? Entertainment. The trouble is, there ain't a lot of choice sometimes. You know, as long as you can try to tell you over see something completely different, then it's great. It's all right. I don't know but
Anyone have anything to add? I suppose the idea would be that this would become a new classic.
if they repeat something you're in, you get paid for it.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, a couple of questions for Ray. How proficient did you become with a pistol?
I've always been alright with a pistol. Yeah. But we had to learn, obviously, with the flint and all that kind of bit. You've got to speed it up a bit, but they do amazing tricks with cuts and things like that, make you look really good. But yeah, alright. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think we all got the standard, didn't we, in here?
Could you actually hit the bottle?
Because it's a film and it's fantasy, we didn't actually use real bullets. Well, you know. But I reckon I could have done it. I reckon I could have done it. I reckon we all could have done it.
You had another question?
Yeah, the other question was about the scene in the second act where you're on board the ship. I know it's make-believe and you probably weren't on board a ship, but obviously you were getting very wet, etc. How challenging was that scene to do?
Well, they built a big boat. They built this section of the ship and put it on hydraulics. And then they got these, they thought it was a great idea to get these big tanks of water and bombard us with it, but chain us up as well. And it was probably the nearest you're going to get to being on the ocean in a tempest. So it was hard graft. We've been thrown about. I mean, this boat was rocking like this. And I mean, tons of water was going on.
Yeah, it was.
He was very scared, wasn't he?
We were barefoot, we had chains on our ankles and our hands, and they were chucking gallons of water at us, and we never knew when the boat was going to go left, right, forward, back, and there was a few near misses probably, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was, I mean,
but we all
it was controlled insanity, really, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, but it was exciting, not been a kid.
They saved it to the last day of the shoot, just in case anything did happen.
Yeah.
So they got the rest of it.
Was the water cold or kept warm for you?
That was cool by that point.
Who's next? Don't all go at once.
Don't want to get to the pub, do they?
Just tell us a little bit about about whereabouts you were in Ireland, where those locations are, because it looks fantastic. If you can remember.
County Wicklow, wasn't it? Yeah. Wicklow.
And we went to, well, I went to the West Coast as well, to go filmed all the underwater naked stuff there.
All your bum stuff.
Yeah, filmed all there.
There were less people there.
Yeah, cold. It's actually warmer.
Yeah,
It's actually warmer. Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
So, we went down the Wicklow Gap and all around there, didn't we? Wicklow itself, and beautiful coves, you know, you'd be swimming about or working on the beach and seals would be coming out on the beach, and it's clear, it's like glass. And it's a stunning part of the world, you know. And people say that part of the coast in Ireland is like the Amalfi Coast, you know, isn't it? And I didn't believe that. I thought, yeah, we're right. I mean, it is a bit cold, yeah. But it is stunning. It is a stunning part of the world. It really is, you know. Yeah, we had a good time there.
Just one more thing. Someone asked a question about classics at Christmas. I imagine the hope would be that if this goes down well, it's the sort of thing that could bear repeating and people
Oh, we hope so.
would watch again and again. Is that the hope?
Yeah, oh, well, repeat it. I think it stands another. They could follow this on, do seriously. No, I do. I think it should be good. It's a good telling. You get better, some great stories about that time. I know it's a one-off book, but there's nothing else. Yeah, absolutely. You'll be in one of these. Incredible.
Yeah, it'll be the great escape of our days.
But it's a great period to watch stories about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. You know? You're leading on towards the 18, 15, a bit further on the Battle of Waterloo. You've got women's rights right in there. Mate, you can really crack on.
Now, well, look, people in this room to make it happen. Okay. If no one else has a question. Oh, no, there is a question at the back there. Sorry.
Judging from the first episode, there's not many women in the cast. So what sort of difference does that make to the dynamic?
Oh,
both
boring.
on set and on set? I mean, you seem like quite a gang.
I think we had to be in a sense because of, you know, it was, you know, the male domination of this time was in place. It was no reflection of trying to be sexist anyway, it was just the way it was.
Oh, we had some girls, haven't we?
No, there was lots of those fans.
There's some terrific actresses working with us, you know?
Yeah, and you see a lot more in the second half as well.
Yeah.
And of course, I guess that's where Grace's role really kind of stands for a lot of lady presence as well. Just a role, and I think her performance kind of kicked this for a lot of women in a way.
Lady presence. Lots of lady presence.
We should say actually that Sophie was
Absolutely.
you know, we auditioned for a few young actresses for it, and every now and again someone just popped out and we thought, wow, that